when I moved out of England and came down to the Alps, I decided I was going to just sell up and go and spend some time in Venice and write this book Toshu, which is what we did. So Toshu was written and it was published. It was originally just the Venetian story, which was a bit of a tragedy, and then I just kind of thought to myself, I can't leave this, it's not Romeo and Juliet, I have to have a happy ending. So then developed the story about the London story, where they meet up again kind of 200 years later in London. And whilst I was working on the book in Feltri outside Venice, it's where I met Dina, and since then Dina and I have been excitedly working first on a feature film, and then with a mentor that we'd been working with from Los Angeles. She suggested we turned it into an 8 episodic TV series, which is what we've done. So that's where we've got to right now. So it's all exciting, and it just keeps taking on different avenues. It's like a tree, you know,
the timing, it was like she just rang me. And I said, my goodness, there's someone ringing me in English, which I never, no one ever rings me in English. And she talked to me about it, and I couldn't believe it. It was like somebody telling me, this is where you have to go now. You know, there's been a big, massive door closed on you. And now this is going to be, you know,
opening
an opening to something very new and very exciting. Not just for me, because I mean, I keep working and I do the best I can, but I think it's going to be absolutely wonderful for the kids.
Yeah.
You know, for Giorgio and his partners I've got just my bigger children dancing, obviously, because the school's quite large, but I thought 25 would.
That's amazing. Yeah, I will definitely be. I already got my own, 2 or 3 of those for myself. And then Dina, we've got this beautiful scenery behind us. So tell us more about your involvement in the ballet and the scenery that you've been painting.
Well, painting scenery is not something I normally do, so it's been quite challenging. I'd love to see what they're going to look like blown up as soon as possible, because, you know, like, I have no idea how they're going to transcribe from, you know, 40 by 30 to 8 meters by 6 meters, but I'm assured it's going to be okay.
It'll be absolutely fantastic.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And we've played around with where the floor line is within the paintings and where the ballet dancers we think will be positioned. So it's kind of like making the costumes but blind without any fittings or subjects. So I think it's going to work. Determining what to paint was part of the script. So each scene had a background, and a big part of the storytelling is that the 1980s takes place in some of the 1790s locations.
Wow.
So in the screenplay and the storytelling of that, location is also character. You know, like we have scenes where Angelo's sitting in a chapel and Mickey enters through the door.
Wow.
Because the space is, you know, the space is
really
distant, you know, like it is there through both stories.
Yeah.
So some of the more complicated backdrops, like Celeste's bedroom, is also the museum that Charlie and Mickey meet in. So it's the same backdrop.
I love it. Love it.
I haven't got a ticket yet. Got wine to make.
It will come. It will happen. It's been so lovely to meet with you all tonight and to talk through and to just feel that creative energy that you all have going on around this, and it's just there's something just really magical about that. Really is.
Nicola, what's your outcome? Your next thing?
Well, as I think what you said is exactly what I think. Whatever happens, happens. Mm-hmm. I'm living life like that at the moment. You know, it's everything that happens is just beautiful. Mm-hmm. And it just, I literally am taking it, you know, a day at a time, a week at a time, a happy moment at a time. So whatever happens, happens, you know, whatever makes Giorgio happy.
So beautiful. But do you know what, that's for all of us, that's all we ever have, is the present moment. And actually the more present we are and the more we can really enjoy the moment, the more things open up in that kind of way that you almost think, wow, like how did that happen? So I think that's such a beautiful way to be like living it and milking the joy as much as possible and really savoring those moments. Absolutely.